I've got sellotape on my fingers. Eh. Hey guys, Vic here, back with another review. Today we are looking at this, the Aspire Cleito EXO. New sub-ohm clearomizer from Aspire, part of the Clieto range. Now the Clieto version 1 was, for want of a better word, a masterpiece. Probably the best sub-ohm tank of 2016. I know some people got some bunk coils, some people didn't like it. You know, if someone got a bad coil, they may not have liked it, and so you will not see permanent love across the board. But on the whole, people rated the Clieto original very, very highly indeed, especially the coil heads, which as long as you didn't get a bunk one, the 1 in 5 that was a bunk one, then they were absolutely fantastic. Now, they then brought out the Cleito 120, which was their maxi big cloudy thing. It was a much fatter tank, big capacity, and it was there for serious clouds and all that stuff. They now have the EXO, which is it's got a foot in both camps, to be honest, but really its main purpose is to be the Clieto that is TPD compliant. So this is their official, registered, verified and compliant version of the Clieto. It comes with a new coil head, a 0.15 coil head, and with that coil head in, the tank is 2 mil capacity, which is compliant. The clever thing, this is really clever, the really clever thing is, if you put a 0.4 ohm Clieto coil in here, the original coil from the original Clieto that everybody loved, then if you put that one in, the capacity goes up to 3.5 mil. So it's completely compliant, but if you just happen to get hold of one of those old heads, which are readily available, you can up the capacity to 3.5. So you can use this 0.15 coil, or you can use that 0.4 coil from the original Clieto. There's no compatibility with the 120 that had its own thing going on. So yeah, that's the EXO. This is what we're looking at today. Let's go down to the table so you can have a good look at it. I'll show you what comes in the packaging. I've got a rose gold one, sort of bronzy, rose gold one that I'll show you down low. And then we'll come back up top for how does it vape and all that important stuff. See you in a sec. Alright guys, here we are up close with the Aspire Cleito EXO. Comes in this familiar packaging by now from Aspire, this sort of tube thing. It has the compliant wording and stuff and all that information. Let's flip it open and get into it. You've got your instructions and stuff. You get a spare drip tip. If you lose yours, you get a spare O-ring there, and you get a spare coil. Let's get the tank out, and we will get. We'll give you a look at the coil first, actually, while it's in good style. If I can get it out, blimey. Right, here we go. Right, okay, here we go. So this is the coil. This is the 0.16, sorry, according to that, but mine's reading out at 0.15 coil for the Clieto EXO. So this is very fat and wide, and they've got a big wide coil in there. Don't know how well you can see that. So yeah, you've got your cotton there. 60 to 100 watts seems to be what they recommend here. And yeah, so you can see what they've done here. All this extra bit here, all this fanned out bit, that is what's getting the capacity down to 2 mil. And so when you put the original in, the original coil head, it's much thinner, so you're getting all that capacity back. So that is how that's working the way it is. Here is the tank. This is the bronze version. It says Aspire there on the glass section. There is your airflow here, non-adjustable. Right round there and right round there as well. And it goes in there, down, and then back up through the coil. There's your 510 pin. Clieto EXO on the bottom. Glass, bronzy, bit bronzy stuff. And then it's got this Clieto style drip tip that you will be familiar with by now. So obviously your normal drip tips ain't gonna be what you want on here. You're gonna have to get a specialist Clieto drip tip if that's your bag. Okay, so top fill. You simply turn that and then you fill it up in there. You just literally pour it down the gap and then screw it back on like that. It's all nice and nailed here, so there's no problem getting it on and off. Turning it around. Oh, this is a bit tighter. Oh. First unturn of this is always slightly looser, but if we turn this away, you can see the coil head is in there, and you literally just unscrew it off there like that if you want to take that off. Pushing this back in like that. It's held on by an O-ring. It all attaches basically by this top, but it's held on really nice. Held on really nicely indeed. Once you've got that cap on nicely, that is all held well together. There we go. There we go. That's the Aspire Cleito XO. Let's go up top. Okay, guys, that was the Cleito XO down low. So the main thing that we need to review here with this tank is the new coil. This 0.15 coil that comes with the XO as standard. What's it like? How does it vape? It vapes really nice. I'm at 82 watts. You can go between 70 and 100 with this is the recommended. I'm now at 88 watts. For a sub-tank, the flavour is tremendous. Tremendous with this. Very, very good indeed. And also, I don't know if you noticed on that vape, compared to other sub-tanks, very, very quiet, very, very smooth airflow. Check this out. This is the V tank from OBS. Not too bad like that. That's how I like it. But if you open it up, yeah, quite noisy indeed. If we go for the Scion from Innokin, really noisy, fully open. So really, really smooth, really swooshy airflow, and excellent flavour, and it's vaping really nice. No dry hits. Wicks fantastic. You do need to prime. Please make sure you prime your wick when you first put a new coil in. But it wicks absolutely brilliantly. And it's vaping an absolute treat with this 0.15 coil. Similarly, don't forget you can put in that 0.4 ohm coil from the original Clieto, which was again a tremendous coil head. Okay, so taking it a step back, positives and negatives of this tank. Okay, so the major one, I think for a lot of people will be cool with it. A lot of people might have an issue with this. Completely non-adjustable airflow. That slot there is not adjustable, and that goes round the other side as well. Now, it's a lung hit tank. You're lung hitting it. So some people say, you know, a lung hit's a lung hit. If it's fully open lung hit, and then it is what it is. You don't need to adjust it. Some people, I think, will find this too airy. It is very airy. So much so that if you go below 70 watts with this coil, there's just nothing there. There's just no heat, no flavour, nothing. It's only till you get to about 75, 85 that you start to get this sweet spot, and you really need that power because there's so much air. It really is airy, but super smooth indeed. And once you get it into that 80 to 90 range, I think it's absolutely fantastic. On the airflow though, with it being non-adjustable, it is worth remembering the 0.4 ohm coil, the actual air hole inside the actual coil created by the coil is smaller, so the airflow will be more restricted on that. So if that's a concern, don't worry too much. It'll be as open as the 0.4 allows it to be, you know, so that's the thing. Other negatives. I am struggling to go beyond that as a negative. I think the looks will be subjective. It has this Clieto style drip tip thing going on, so you can't put your own drip tips on, but you can get hold of Clieto drip tips, so you know, be aware that you can do that. 2 mil capacity. The 2 mil capacity, we haven't got much choice in the UK. That's the way it's going to be going. So 2 mil capacity is going to be a negative for some people. If you really want to use this 0.15 coil, you really are going to be ripping through that juice at 0.15 ohms. So that's going to be a negative for some people, I guess. But don't forget, with the original Clieto coils, this goes up to a 3.5 mil capacity. So swings and roundabouts on that one. Positives. The positives are endless. The flavour is tremendous. Absolutely tremendous for a sub-tank. I've never had such good flavour, genuinely. Or I have back with the original Cleito. But the flavour is tremendous. The actual smoothness of the airflow, the smoothness of the vape, the airflow is just absolutely brilliant. They've done a really good job on that. I think the design is very clever. There's only the glass here and here, so the chances of breaking it when you're dropping it are reduced. I'm pretty sure there's no spare glass tank. I might be wrong, let me just check. No, you don't get a spare glass tank, which is something to be aware of. However, I think it's much less chance of breaking it than it was with the past, unless you really give it a big bash. The other thing it doesn't come with, which some people might not be happy with, is an RBA head. I don't know what Aspire's plans are with the RBA head, but it certainly doesn't come with one as standard. So we'll have to wait and see what they do with that. What else do you need to know? It's 23.5mm wide. It is, I've got it all here, don't worry. It's 57mm tall. 23.5mm wide, that's very much worth bearing in mind, depending on what you want to put it on. Stainless steel and PCTG, and it's available in 5 colours: stainless steel, black, blue, which is like the Archeon blue. I think that would look really good with the Archeon, like a rainbow one, and like the bronzy one that I showed you down low. I want to tell you one place you can get this from. Price is going to be about 20 quid, 25 quid, something like that. You are going to be able to get it when it's out in the UK from cloudsticks.com. That's STIX.com, cloudsticks.com. They helped me get hold of this from Aspire, so I want to give them a shout out, and there's a link to them in the description. They're an official Aspire reseller, so they have all the Aspire products on. So they've got the Clieto 120, the original Clieto, so you can get those coils if you want them. They've got the Nautilus, the new one, the old one. Might be worth picking up an old one while they're still around, those Nautiluses were good. Nautilus X, all that good stuff. So check them out. They're going to have it quick as when it's live and in the UK. So go and check them out, link in the description. That's it, I think. That's it, I think that is it. I think this is a banging tank. I think it's really clever. The TPD thing with the coil that has bigger capacity that you can get hold of, that's really clever. Vape's amazing. I've got used to the airflow, even though it's non-adjustable. I've got used to it now. I think it's great. I think it's really good. Really good vape quality, which is the most important thing. Really impressed with this tank. Really like it. Happy vaping Vic, and I'll see you again soon.